This is the NWA World's Women's Champion Thunder Rosa. Thank you for watching Mark's Name Joe. Un saludo a todos, cuídense mucho y a dar trancazos, cabrones.
Welcome back to Mark's Name Joe. This is a first ever for us. It's our first ever debate. We are debating hot takes submitted to us by our Twitter followers using that pesky greater than symbol that's been plaguing the internet wrestling community for so damn long.
I have never done it.
Yeah,
never.
Today,
I'm innocent here.
Of course you're innocent.
I'm innocent.
We're all innocent, right? Today we are joined by the lovely Jentastic. It is spelled with a 1 instead of an I, at Jentastic on Twitter. She's our moderator for today. So this will be a great experience for all of us. We're kind of going to work out the kinks. It's going to be a little rough around the edges, just like everything else we've ever done. But let's get it started. What is our first question, Jen?
Okay, first one. Rey and Dom Mysterio greater than Lucha Brothers. So Rey and Dom Mysterio, walk with Joe, you get that one. And Lucha Brothers, kayfabe.
Ooh, I know how much you love the Lucha Brothers. But because of the sake of the argument, and Jen picked me, Rey and Dom Mysterio, number one. Rey Mysterio is a former WCW champion, former WWE champion. Lucha Brothers don't have any championships that I can recall. Right now, I think that they're pretty much jobbers on AEW. They're not even in the ranks, are they, for the tag team? They're way behind FTR and Young Bucks. They're nobody right now. Nobody. All they got is face paint and a mask. That's it. That's all they got. Rey Mysterio has a mask, but he's Rey Mysterio. You can't compete against Rey Mysterio. And let's just give props right now to Dom Mysterio because he is up and coming and he is fun to watch right now. So that I'm sticking to Rey and Dom Mysterio are greater than the Lucha Brothers. Joe?
The Lucha Brothers are one of the most exciting, one of the most dynamic, one of the most universally loved tag teams in AEW. They are currently the AAA tag team champions. Rey Fénix has spent plenty of time as the AAA Mega Campeonato, or whatever the hell they pronounce it as, which is currently held by Kenny Omega. I think Kenny beat Rey for it. The Lucha Brothers have something that Rey Mysterio doesn't. And that is a 5-star match from Uncle Dave. The Escalera de la Muerte from All Out last year against the Young Bucks was one of the most exciting tag team matches of all time, with the one Canadian destroyer I have ever marked out for. Off the top of a ladder, through a chair. Come on, man. These guys are so talented. They're so charismatic. They are going to be some of the biggest stars in the wrestling world this time next year. Mark my words.
It was very difficult sitting here watching you try to say that with a straight face.
I know.
Knowing your love for the Lucha Brothers.
All right, Jen. Who do you think won that point?
I think Joe won.
Oh, thank you.
So far. Yep. So far, Joe is in the lead.
All right, let's go on to the next question, Jen. You ready? Throw it at us.
All right. So, next one. The trash bag greater than Sasha. So, let's see. Kayfabe, you defend the trash bag. Walk with Joe, Sasha.
There's one word that the trash bag will always have over Sasha Banks, and that is utility. That bag is useful. You can use it to haul things. You can use it to store things. You can use it to protect things in the winter in your garage. You can put things that you never want to see again, like Sasha Banks, in the trash bag, and you can put them in your can, and a guy's going to come and take them away at the end of the week. I don't think I really need to say much more. There's no reason why Sasha Banks belongs in a trash bag. So why would she be better than a trash bag?
Ouch. That is some harsh words from Joe. All right. You are comparing little bag that you put garbage in to the greatest female wrestler in the WWE.
I have some very large leaf and lawn garbage bags. They're very thick, very thick gauge. Quality garbage bags.
Sasha Banks has something that the garbage bag will never have, ever. She has a role in the Disney series Mandalorian. She is a Jedi.
I'm going to comb through every goddamn episode. I'm going to count the trash bags I see on screen.
Trash bags are not in the Star Wars movies unless you count Jar Jar Binks. Okay. No. Sasha Banks, former champion, has held the championship multiple times. She was the original. Did the trash bag have the tag team championships? The first women's tag team championship crown was Sasha Banks and Bayley. Trash bag didn't get that. WWE history, you're going to type it in the future. What are you going to see? Trash bag had championship? No. You're going to see Bayley and Sasha, first women tag team champions. That's all I have to say, Joe. I'm heated.
Jen.
Let's go into the next one. I'm heated. Let's go.
All right, we'll keep on going. All right, so King Jerry Lawler versus King Corbin. So let's see. Walk with Joe, King Jerry Lawler. Kayfabe, King Corbin.
This should be a no-brainer. When you think of wrestling in the 90s and 80s, and you think of even now, whose voice do you hear?
JR.
Jerry the King Lawler. JR is irrelevant to this conversation. Jerry the King Lawler is the most funny commentator in wrestling history. He is a true king, unlike that fake blocking Twitter wannabe Baron Corbin fool. Jerry Lawler knows how to do a promo. Does Baron Corbin? Hey, I'm Baron Corbin. I am king of the world. Jerry Lawler knows how to talk. Jerry Lawler wrestled.
Say Jerry Lawler one more time. Come on.
Jerry Lawler, the king, wrestled so many famous. Who's Baron Corbin wrestled? Joe?
Kurt Angle. He retired Kurt Angle.
Who? Who? Jerry Lawler. I can't say. I'm going to say one more thing. Jerry Lawler. Go ahead.
So Baron Corbin is clearly better than Jerry the King Lawler. One, Baron Corbin doesn't have a history of getting really excited when an attractive woman comes on screen going, puppies! And like screaming things about their boobs. Baron Corbin also has excellent taste in the social media accounts that he allows to interact with him. He is very judicious with the block button. And I might even recall him blocking a certain @Walk with Joe.
For no reason.
No reason?
No reason.
I'm sure. That was before you went after Seth with Doink the Clown.
Yes.
But, I'll leave that
unproven.
there. I'll leave. Unproven. Baron Corbin is the current reigning king of the ring. Baron Corbin has won the Money in the Bank ladder match. How many Money in the Bank ladder matches did Jerry the King Lawler ever win? 0. Baron Corbin.
He's
Run
above.
out of ideas.
He's above the ladder matches, Joe. He is above the ladder matches. Jerry Lawler is above them. He doesn't.
The last time I saw Jerry the King Lawler in a wrestling ring was in a bingo hall in Poughkeepsie, New York, when he was fighting David Arquette in a freaking tag team match. Jerry the King Lawler comes in for literally 1 second, hits one pile driver. That's all the guy can do. Like, he thinks he can still wrestle. He thinks he can still compete on the indies. These kids are running circles around him, and he's having a heart attack standing still. Like, what do you expect to happen here? Baron Corbin is the future of Friday Night SmackDown. Baron Corbin is going to take that belt off of Roman Reigns when Baron Corbin finally realizes his babyface lone wolf run that we've all been clamoring for years. I feel like it's been a decade almost. This guy is the future. He's got all the tools. I'm sticking with him.
All right, Jen. This is Baron Corbin. If you want to go to the next question.
All right, next one. Who is greater than who? TNA AJ Styles, greater than WWE AJ Styles.
Ooh.
So we'll go kayfabe. You'll get TNA AJ, and Walk with Joe. You get WWE AJ.
I used to watch TNA every week when it was Samoa Joe and AJ Styles running that place. It was amazing. AJ Styles is the entire reason a division of TNA and Impact still exists today, the X division. He was the first champion. He was iconic. He's been in several super high-level matches, one of which was with Samoa Joe and the fallen angel Christopher Daniels, and Uncle Dave gave that one 5 stars. I feel like I'm going to use that for a barometer for success quite a bit today, I guess. I've already used it twice now. AJ Styles, back in TNA, was young, he was athletic, he was charismatic, and he had the world in the palm of his hand. AJ Styles is only a big deal in WWE right now because he was a goddamn star in TNA. If he didn't have that run, no one knows who he is. If AJ Styles came into WWE at the same time that he had left WCW, because he was actually a cruiserweight tag team member in WCW at the very end. That's how long this guy's career has been. If he came right into WWE, he would have been on Velocity week after week. He would have been buried, and no one would have cared. TNA made him a star, and he made an entire brand must see.
I can't say that you are wrong about much of that, but for the sake of argument, how can you go against WWE AJ Styles? Everybody know. If you see AJ Styles in the street, kids, oh, look at that. It's WWE superstar AJ Styles. Not TNA superstar AJ Styles. They aren't going to say that. His legacy lays in WWE. He's a former champion, should be the current Intercontinental champion until Jeff Hardy stole it from him.
Everybody stole it from Sami Zayn, but continue.
That's a whole different argument. That's a whole different argument.
Another episode.
Yeah, that's another episode right there. We got the original club AJ Styles, all right? The original with 2 unnamed guys that are somewhere off swimming in TNA waters or something like that now, if that is even a thing anymore. AJ Styles right now is, to me, and this is really is WWE. There's not many people that stand out the way that he wrestles, the way that he can move. He can put on a 5-star match, non-Dave related, with almost anybody. So let's look at when AJ Styles stepped in and fought Finn Balor. That match was a classic. AJ Styles carried Brock Lesnar to a 5-star match rated by Joe. Dave is irrelevant right here. All right. Joe rated 5-star match against one of the best workers in the business, Brock Lesnar. All right. AJ Styles made him look amazing. But if you were going to look at legacy, TNA AJ Styles was good, but they're not going to look at that. They're going to look at the WWE because WWE is where it's at. You don't want to be known for TNA, especially now. WWE is where it's at. That's the Styles I'm going.
Well, I just have a follow-up to that one. Was AJ's hair better in TNA or WWE?
Oh, well, that's no question. It's the WWE hair. I'm going to give that one to Joe.
All right.
Long, it's luscious. The beard. He looked like a small child his entire TNA run.
Okay, because I'm like, I don't
fine.
remember what he looked like in that. All right.
Yes, 40-year-old AJ Styles hair is where it's at.
All right. Perfect.
Yes, where it's at. That's what I'm saying. That's going to be the mark of the episode. I'm going to say that a lot today. All right, let's go. Let's keep going.
All right. Okay. Next one. It's a little tag one.
Ooh, what is
Bella
it?
Twins and Young Bucks. So let's see. Walk with Joe. Who's greater? You get Bella Twins.
I would get the Bella Twins.
You get Young Bucks.
I would get the Bella Twins. What can I say? Okay. The Bella Twins.
Dang.
I'm going to say I have a short argument here. If you go back in time and you go into my let's say 14-year-old little Walk with Joe's bedroom, which you probably don't want to go in there, but
everything's sticky.
The poster on the wall. The poster on the wall is going to be the Bella Twins, and the Young Bucks are going to not be anywheres on my wall. If I have to look at a tag team, the Bella Twins are gorgeous. I'm going to go with the beauty here. The beauty factor, that's where it's at. You don't I mean, their theme songs, the way that they dress, their hat backwards, their red gear. I'm swimming. I'm alive. I'm
You're
swimming.
drowning.
No, I don't know. Yeah, I'm almost there. I'm almost way too deep. But the Bella Twins look way better than the Young Bucks. That's all I have to say.
First off, neither of these teams would have been in 14-year-old Walk with Joe's room because neither of them were around 26 years ago, you old fuck.
Wow. We're going there.
Shots fired.
Wow. Very disappointing.
Now, the Young Bucks, do I even need to make an argument after that weak attempt that you just tried to make?
If you don't make an argument, let's check with the moderator. If he doesn't argue, what happens?
Ooh, if he doesn't argue, I mean, I guess the point would have to go to Walk with Joe.
Ooh.
All right, fine. I will argue, even though I really don't have to argue much. These two have put on several of the most exciting tag team matches we've seen over the last year. They received, I'm going to go to Uncle Dave again, a 6-star match for their match against Hangman Page and Kenny Omega. They also have been the most dynamic, innovative, and must-see tag team across all non-WWE promotions for the last 20 freaking years. They are EVPs building the hottest new brand in wrestling. They are single-handedly to blame for some of the best things we have seen on TV with AEW Dynamite.
Some of the best
and
botches.
you know what? Matt Jackson, dude's pretty freaking cute. All right? I'm not a big Nick Jackson fan. I like the long sideburns. Nick's a little too big for me. I like a little bit more petite frame. So if Nick Jackson sees this, hit me up, man. My DMs are open. However, the Bella Twins have this vapid, shallow TV show, Totally Bellas, which you didn't even write.
I should have brought that
reference
up.
that. No, that doesn't count. You don't get to reference that.
TV stars.
Your argument's over.
TV
stars. The Young Bucks have decided.
Daniel Bryan.
Bucks have created the most cult classic YouTube platform in Being the Elite, which every week gets hundreds of thousands of views. Everyone loves the show. It's hilarious. And it shows the backstage antics, the real characters, and things that they love about wrestling. And that's one last thing that I want to hit on. I never got the feeling that the Bella Twins loved wrestling. The Bella Twins were hired in an era by Vince who was hiring athletic, beautiful women, and that's all that it was. And he got twins out of it. How can you not love that? You have two identical supermodels with huge fake tits and fake personalities on TV every week.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Whereas you have a true set of brothers that fill in each other's weaknesses, that make each other better, that don't injure people with their Brie mode crap every time they go into it. Like Liv Morgan, I bet she's still concussed from that knee that Brie gave her a couple of years ago. That's all that I got to say. Young Bucks are so much better than the Bella Twins.
I have a follow-up. Are follow-ups allowed?
Yes.
I just want to point out one thing. The Young Bucks, you said the Young Bucks are up there. They're definitely up Dave Meltzer's ass. Let's just say that. Dave Meltzer, 5-star rating system. If he sat there and watched the Bellas match, easily 30 stars. That's it. Mic drop. There it is.
All right. Next up, fun one. So another tag. Who's greater?
Okay.
Asuka and Alf. And yes, that is Alf, the brown furry 80s.
From the TV show?
Yes, that everyone loves. Not that I'm biased, apparently. Are they greater than Sasha and Bailey? Asuka and Alf, Sasha Bailey. Let's see. So I'm going to give kayfabe, Asuka and Alf. Walk with Joe, you get Sasha and Bailey.
The Empress of Tomorrow and everyone's favorite alien. What else? I'm gonna give you an easy argument.
What about Mork?
What about Mork? Who?
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Little baby Joe doesn't know who Mork is.
I'm not 60 years old, dude. Bro.
Okay, bro.
Okay, bro. Asuka is one of the greatest competitors in WWE today. Alf is one of the greatest characters in television show history. What do they have to compete with? They have to compete with Bailey, whose entire gimmick for like 8 years was just, I like to hug people, yay! And having a side pony, like what a side ponytail's your gimmick, and these stupid, wacky, waving, inflatable, arm flailing Bailey buddies. No, screw those things. Screw those things. Go hug themselves. They need to go hug themselves.
Ouch.
And I literally argued that Sasha Banks is nowhere near as good as a trash bag. So
Yes,
come on.
so-
I
right,
would
pick it
take
up. Ready?
Asuka. No, I pick what up? Pick what
Pick it
up?
up. Let's go.
Pick the trash?
Are we going back to the trash bag?
I should wrap Sasha Banks in that trash bag, which is clearly superior, and dump them off at the dump, and I should go hang out with Asuka and Alf.
Oh, wow. I guess that means I'm up. Let's just go with this. I'm going to start right here. Asuka. Can't even understand her. No idea what she says half the time.
Learn Japanese. Like, what's so hard about that? Learn a second language, you ignorant piece of...
Let me just say this. Recently, who beat Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship? Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks. I'm going to go back to previous argument. Sasha and Bailey, first time WWE Tag Team Women's Champions. That was huge in wrestling.
I feel like that's unfair because Alf has not stepped into a WWE ring yet.
That we know of.
Yes.
Okay. If you said Asuka and Kerry Sane, I could see an argument. Elf is a puppet.
Asuka and who?
Puppet. He's a puppet. He eats cats. He lived in a garage. He eats cats. He cracks jokes. And we have the role models of all wrestling. AEW women look up to Sasha and Bailey. They don't even know who Elf is. They have no idea. Our moderator didn't know who Elf was when we started this.
I thought you meant a wrestler named Alf. I'm like, who?
Exactly.
I'm missing
Point.
someone?
I'm going to drop it right there because, yeah, thank you very much, Jen, for that one. I'll take that W. Now we're getting into the last two good ones here. I'm excited for these, Joe. I see who we get out of these.
All right. Next one. We got Orton. Is he greater than MJF? So, Walk with Joe, you get Orton. And Kayfabe, you get MJF.
I am happy to take Orton. And Max, leave MJF out of this. I am happy to take Orton because he has been wrestling for over 20 years. He is a 13-time world champion in WWE. World champion in the biggest promotion that is out there and that will ever be out there. Orton is the best heel right now in all of wrestling. I said it. Randy Orton is the best heel in all wrestling. And you know why? 3 letters, RKO. Who's got a better finisher than Randy Orton? RKO out of nowhere. You can't beat that. I've never seen a meme going around with MJF's finishing move. I've never seen MJF YouTube videos of RKOs getting to random people falling off their skateboards and surfboards and stuff. I've never seen any of that. He was the youngest world champion, 24 years old, in WWE history. Evolution. He was the best part of Evolution over Ric Flair, Triple H, those nobodies. Randy Keith Orton is what every heel in wrestling should look up to because he has it all right now. He's going to be the world champion in a few weeks here after he RKOs and punts Drew McIntyre out of Raw. He's going to be gone. Okay. Randy Orton, in all fairness, is very entertaining since WrestleMania. He has been carrying the WWE product right now. He has been up there, and it's hard to compete with him. But I'm going to leave it up to you now with your little scarf wearing MJF.
How many Burberry scarves does Randy Orton own?
Probably
a status
a couple.
symbol. MJF is better than you. He's better than me. He's better than Jen. He's better than all 34 people that are going to watch this video.
I'll take that
He
point.
knows it. And he freaking knows it. I feel like this is an unfair debate question because you get to argue a 40-year-old's entire body of work against the prodigal son of professional wrestling. MJF is currently only 24 years old, and he's constantly in the talk as the best talker in the business. And it's not just, oh, MJF's good with the mic. Randy Orton is good on the mic. MJF is an all-time great right now with the microphone in his hands. He can sell ice to an Eskimo. All right? The man can talk. And as proof, this feud that he had with Jon Moxley, the material that they had with Dictator John and how they were trying to politicize Jon Moxley was stupid. It was awful. And it made no sense. But MJF made me believe every freaking word out of his mouth. The kid is athletic. The kid has put on fantastic matches so far in his, I'm going to use a fancy word, in his embryonic career. Him and Jungle Boy at Double or Nothing was such a tremendous match. It was so well worked, and it made me think that MJF actually was more than just a microphone. And then we get to All Out 2020, MJF versus Jon Moxley in my favorite Jon Moxley match in AEW. I thought the final week of build with the lawyer brought in and the paradigm shift being outlawed, I thought all of that was great. And I thought that MJF being there, being the voice in that whole feud, made it absolutely fantastic. He proved in that match that he can hang with Jon Moxley, who is the best wrestler in the world. And MJF has proven time and time again that he has the potential to be the greatest. Randy Orton has spent his career being very good. Randy Orton has done everything that you could possibly do in WWE several times, being very good. But at no point would I ever say that Randy Orton is the best. Is he the best in the world at anything specific? No. He's good at everything. But
RKO.
MJF, oh, the RKO, you mean the diamond cutter that he stole from DDP? Huh?
Who?
Where's your argument on that one? Who? I don't know. He was wrestling when you were a kid. If we have this conversation 16 years from now, when MJF is as old as Randall Keith Orton, I guarantee we're going to be having a very different talk because that kid is going places in the professional wrestling industry. MJF is going to lead AEW through the next 25 years the way Randy Orton never could. If John Cena didn't exist, if John Cena was never a thing in WWE, Randy Orton is nowhere near the person that he is today. Randy Orton does not have company on his shoulder charisma. He does not have the ability to do that.
He's been carrying the company for years.
And the company's been dying while he's been doing it. Look at the ratings from the last time Cena was around and as the top guy. If Orton's considered the top veteran backstage, ratings have been declining, and not very steadily, precipitously over the last few years.
Do not use words that I have to Google. We've went over this before. All right. All fairness, I gotta say MJF is absolutely special. Okay, I'm gonna step away from the greater than debate right now. He is absolutely special. 16 years from now, we'll probably be up to a good 40 subscribers by then.
Oh yeah.
So by then, I don't think he will spend his whole career in AEW because I think once Vince is out of the picture and WWE has a different face and a different everything, I think that you're going to see a lot of jumps from company to company. Everybody. You're going to see a lot of different jumps, more than you're seeing from WWE to AEW now. I could totally see MJF being one of those people that says, I'm not going to re-sign with AEW, probably way down the line, and show up on WWE product one day. He is one of those people. He is very special. I do agree with you when it comes to that. And I think that you could agree here. I think a MJF Orton feud would be absolutely fun to watch, no matter what product it was on. That would be a lot of fun because they have a lot of similarities.
I'm still waiting for an official MJF Chris Jericho feud in AEW.
It's gonna happen at some point. You know it's gonna. So, with all this company talk, that leads us to our last question, Jen. What do you think?
So the last one is the one that's been debated on Twitter all day, every day, and then all day, every day again. Which is better, AEW or WWE? So, kayfabe, you'll get AEW.
Of course he does.
Walk with Joe, you get WWE.
And of course I do.
Shocking.
AEW is so much better than WWE. And it's so much
I
more
need to get my barf bag here. Hold on a second.
It's so much more than TV ratings. AEW is to blame, to credit for so many people's rekindled love for professional wrestling. I remember it was 2017, early 2018. I'm really starting to wane on my support for wrestling as a whole. NXT was great, and it was really the only thing keeping me interested in pro wrestling. At that point, I was going through spurts of not watching Raw because I was so sick and tired of Brock Lesnar. I was going through spurts. Well, you can shrug. Well, dude holds belts hostage, and he defends them 3 times a year. That's not cool. That's not fun TV. I was not able to watch SmackDown a lot because I have obligations on Tuesday evenings, and I never cared to catch up with it afterwards. However, on January 1st, 2019, when Hangman and the Young Bucks hold up their phones and they say AEW, what the hell is that? I needed to know. A couple weeks later, there's a press conference. And it's one of the most important days in wrestling history because they announce themselves. They bring in the GOAT, Chris Jericho, to come into their company. They bring in so many talents. And in this year, because we're coming up on a full year now of AEW Dynamite, they have consistently put on the best wrestling programming on TV. They've put together the program with the most passion throughout the entire card. Everybody wants to be there. And I don't mean everybody in WWE wants to be there. I mean everybody that is in AEW wants to be there. They love being there. They love everything that they get to do. And you see it, you hear it, and you feel it in the program that they come up with. I could talk for a day, 24 hours straight on why I love AEW. But I'm going to let you try to talk about why WWE is better than AEW.
This is a no contest. No contest. AEW hasn't been around for a year yet, so it's really hard to sit here and compare the
AEW's
companies.
been around for far more than a year. Dynamite has not been around for a year.
Dynamite, in general, wrestling has not been AEW Dynamite. You know what I'm saying? Has not been around for people to view. It's really hard to compare the two companies at certain points, especially when it comes to the history. This kind of goes against like with the Orton and MJF arguments. It's the same kind of thing. I'm arguing for the history. So WWE right now, little kids still want to be WWE superstars. That's a lot of wrestlers' end goal. I mean, that is where it's at. Okay. WWE owned WCW when it came to the end of WCW's reign. WCW got ate up. They got literally owned by the McMahons. You have superstars that came out of WWE, The Rock, Stone Cold, Undertaker. All right. Brock Lesnar. No matter what you say, if you put a line out there right now, WWE superstar Brock Lesnar, and over here you have AEW superstar, I don't even know. You're going to have a longer line for Brock Lesnar. He is just in general, just saying, period, that the WWE superstars are more well known. But that also goes, I'm going to correct myself here because that goes with AEW being so young. Okay. 16 years from now, it's going to be a different story. The whole entire face of wrestling will be changing within the next 5 years.
Well, 16 years from now, WWE program is going to be on the AEW network.
Oh, here we go.
Tony Khan's got more money than Vince. Tony Khan's going to buy WWE. Those ratings are going to keep plummeting.
It's not going to happen.
Vince is going to hit the panic button. He's not going to give it to Triple H. He's going to give it to Tony Khan.
We are going to see WWE on Disney Network before we see it on AEW Network that doesn't even exist. Let's correct yourself. Doesn't exist. How many times, Joe? How many times has AEW hit over 1 million views? I can count them on one hand.
4 or 5?
Exactly. WWE, you talk ratings. Oh, WWE ratings are horrible. They still consistently are over 1.5 million views. So if you're going to talk views, you have to talk views like that because
I remember reading a couple of doom and gloom articles from 2014. So that's 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Doom and gloom that WWE viewership was slipping under 4.5 million. People were saying that WWE was doomed at 4.5 million views. Raw is struggling to get a third of that.
I'm not going to argue that because that's true, but they're still pulling in more ratings than AEW. Also, I'm going to throw out some key words here. WrestleMania, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Dwayne Johnson. He's the biggest Hollywood star right now, too, that is out there.
You're not wrong.
He is huge. He could come back and ratings would go back up to 6 million, maybe even 10. Breaking records. We're breaking records now on this podcast with our theories. It's very hard to compare them. She probably picked you knowing that you are more leaning towards AEW. I am more a WWE person, but
I got the Orange Cassidy drip going on.
I am more and more. I looked forward. I watched AEW Dynamite this week. I've been watching it, and it is fun. In the end, out of all of this, we have more wrestling for us to watch. We have more, which is good for us. If NXT moves to Tuesday nights, we're going to hear, oh, they got ran out. Personally, I don't care because that means we have wrestling all week long. If you want to sit there and watch wrestling every night to relax, you got wrestling to watch. AEW is good for WWE. Okay?
There you go. I was just about to make that counterpoint. AEW has made WWE better.
Agreed.
And that's an undeniable fact. The sheer existence of something else that people want to watch.
Mm-hmm.
WWE has never really felt the pinch from TNA or Impact because no matter how much talent they had, they never really had a captivating product. AEW is a top 5 television show on Wednesday nights in all of the United States. And it is impressive seeing what they've been able to do thus far. I think if we just take the sample size, because you're arguing history, let's argue sample size. Let's take the last year of time. And I would say across the board, AEW is better than WWE because of what they've been able to build and so far establish for the future.
I can see what you're saying. At the same time, though, and Scott Steiner showing up. Special guest coming in. Scott Steiner is here, guys.
If you hear me.
Yes. Welcome, Scott. In the end, both companies are good for both companies. AEW does not want WWE to go out of business.
No.
WWE does not want AEW to go out of business, no matter what you say, because it's good for business. You're going to get new fans drawn into AEW that have never been wrestling fans. They're going to want to check out the other promotions. It's going to end up getting better. Now, we can sit here and argue ratings and that AEW is one of the top shows, but during this COVID period, there hasn't been much on TV other than wrestling.
True.
And through the summer, it's been a lot of sports. But even then, sports ratings are down. Mm-hmm. NBA ratings are down. Baseball ratings are down. All ratings are down all over the board. So when post-COVID TV hits, I think that AEW's
That's optimistic.
Ratings, yeah, I think AEW's ratings will go up. NXT ratings are going to go up and WWE ratings are going to go up. That's just the way it seems like it's going to go.
I hope you're
But
right.
in the end, I appreciate all of wrestling, no matter what I said here.
Pulling at the heartstrings. Okay, I
Yes.
see. Trying to win the debate by appealing to both sides.
I enjoy all wrestling, and I enjoy WWE. I recently got more into AEW because of our podcast. It's made me open up my door a lot more in my view on wrestling in general, and I've enjoyed it. I'm a huge Lance Archer mark now. Every time I tweet something to him, he likes it. That's a win for me. I'm a huge Thunder Rosa fan, and I really feel that she is going to be given more opportunity in AEW.
I hope so. I hope AEW can find some way to sign her.
If WWE signed her, I wouldn't be as happy because I think that in AEW you could see her break records for holding that title, and I think that she would put that title on the map.
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion.
All right.
All right. Results time.
Yes.
Oh yeah, let's
All
hear
right.
it.
Who do
Let's
you
see.
have?
Yeah.
Oh,
Who do you have winning this
I gotta
debate? Jen?
tabulate.
Please do.
Tabulate them. Check my notes.
This is going to be good.
Carry the one.
In the first ever greater than debate for Mark's
right.
name,
You ready?
Joe. Yeah, we're
Oh
ready.
yes.
Okay. Winner is Joe.
Yes.
Woo! Let's
No.
go. Wait.
Whoa. She said me.
She said Joe. All
Okay.
right. Come on. Wait.
Which Joe?